Hey, welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Hour. We are now into the brought to you by Kern County Raceway Park, this segment.
Yep.
And of course, as always, we've got Stephen Blakesley here. Stephen, pretty wild action out there last week.
Yeah, we were pretty pleased. We had a great turnout of cars, probably some of our best fields this year, and that'll be reflected in the highlights. There was a lot of activity out there.
First, we'll take a little look ahead. You don't race for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, Saturday, August 23rd, you're going to have the Wheeling Engineering Night NASCO Citgo Lubricant Late Model Twin 35s. They're back after be about a 3-week break for them.
Yeah,
right?
They raced at the end of July, so it's been a couple weeks, and then we get the spec mods back, and that class, has been growing. The mini stocks, the junior and senior mini dwarfs, and the return of Saturday Night Supermoto to Bakersfield. So you get 8 main events on the 23rd.
Right, and kind of the Supermoto, they kind of ran several years ago when Mason Marin was running. They kind of did it in between. No real jumps, but they used at Mesa Marin you had some infield around the turns, some dirt. So they used the asphalt down the front stretch. They go into turn 1 and 2, I think, make a quick hard turn through the dirt, go through the dirt, come through the infield, come through the dirt at 3 and 4, and come back up on the track. A little different for you guys. It's going to be over some jumps and stuff.
Well, they're going to be flying down the whole length of the front straightaway of the half mile. So they'll be over 100 miles per hour. And in fact, they kept moving the turn and moving the cones to try to make sure they could get to that sweet 100-mile-an-hour spot. And then they're going to wrap around through the quarter mile and do a couple back and forth switchbacks with some metal ramps, and then come back on in turn 4 of the half mile. And the Open Pro main event will be a 12-lap main. And then you'll have an 8-lap main event for the amateurs. There will also be a pair of 4-lap heat races right after qualifying. So you want to come early, see qualifying, see the heats, the autographs. It's going to make for a really long night of entertainment.
Yeah, should be a little something different out there, which is always new and fun.
Yep.
Get into last week's action and familiar side here. David Mayhew in Victory Circle.
Yeah, it was a hotly contested race, and we'll take a look at those highlights in just a moment so we can go into that.
Maybe we can go into that if Chris has the highlights here. So.
Oh, here we go. All right, we'll do it now. All right, so like we said, it was a very, very, very busy night. We start out with the 911 series. Usually we run them kind of later in the night, but we put them right at the beginning to get their race in the books, 15-lapper. Shafter PD has kind of dominated things this year, but it goes a little differently this go-around. We did have an accident in this race. I want to say it was Taft PD that hit the wall as their shafter getting kind of sideways. And Bakersfield Police and Alex Patino gets the victory, and BPD is now the points leader.
Well,
so
there you go. That's probably some trash talk between the departments.
Yeah, Shafter versus Bakersfield. NX Legends cars, Lewis's favorite class, but Lewis isn't here, so who cares? As they're battling it out. And this was a great race, as always. Whenever Ryan Vargas joins us from Southern California, he kind of inserts himself in the race, and that always adds to the excitement level. And there he is in the lead, and Tyler Bannister duking it out with him. Very nice crossover move by Ryan Vargas right there. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
And now, he's running for Western Regional points, right?
Yeah, so Vargas is the top driver in the state of California and also is 10th in the country. So now right here, Vargas tries the crossover again, but Bannister says, no, you're not doing this, and blocks the inside. Bannister, I mean, these kids are so remarkable. I mean, you could tell that the 51 sort of knew what Vargas was going to do, and Bannister wins again at KCRP. We had 9 super stocks. This class is really taking off. I mean, for you, Mike, what do you think of this class?
I think it's a good mixture of the new style cars and, of course, the old style cars, which may be going out the window. But right now, it's fun. You can see Parent Kuster there in the 1, really old Mason Marin steel-bodied car holding his own early in the race.
The 7 and Gene 5 kind of marched through the field from the back. Took him some time. He works his way past the points leader, Parent Kuster, right there, and takes over second. And just slowly but surely was closing down on the 12 with Shane Thompson. And that was a great race. Now, Thompson crossed the line first, but was disqualified in post-race for an illegal carburetor. So Fife getting the second consecutive win. Thunder Roadsters. These cars are so cool. They're very nostalgic. They're like the Legends cars, but they kind of have the look of the old school Indy cars, old school Silver Crown cars, if you will. We had drivers from as far away as Eureka and Las Vegas out there. 14 cars were on hand. And there's Ian Anderson, the winner from last year's Thunder Roadster race, taking the lead out of Las Vegas, with McKinleyville's Paul Peoples Jr. right there in second. Trouble right here in the Mancuso. One of the Mancusos spins, and he collects the other one.
Right.
So that's kind of bad
Up
luck.
front, this was a good race all night with Peoples just trying. He could stay with him, but couldn't find a way around, and ended up just short in like a 12-hour tow from up there on the basically the Oregon border. But it's good to see him and another driver come down and support the racing.
Yeah, so you see how close that was. It was a really good finish. Legends Cars. This was for a trip to the Nationals in Las Vegas to try to stamp your ticket. The battle really was the 5 of Fine and the 15 of Weaver for the Young Lion National until then, when Fine got tangled up with Eric Olson. It bent the exhaust on Fine's car. He was breathing exhaust, and they kind of had to park him. As they continue the battling up front, the 15, Brandon Weaver, our points leader, he wins the race, and he makes his way to the Nationals in the Young Lions. The Mangini brothers also qualified, and Eric Olson also qualified. Race of the night, I think, Mike.
I think so.
Pro late models. And Dallas Montez had been chomping at the bit to try to get himself into victory lane and knock off David Mayhew, and they put on a show that brought the house down. David Mayhew in a Southwest Tour car, Dallas Montez in a super late model. Montez's car is wider. Mayhew's car has a lot more horsepower, and you can kind of see that Montez kind of beats him into the corner. There's the chainsaw spinning to bring out the only yellow flag of the race, or the first yellow flag of the race, I should say. On the restart, Montez would not be denied. He really wanted a piece of David Mayhew, and he gets a little overzealous coming into turn one, and we're going to get a great view of that thanks to our photographer, Vinny Griffith, as they come into turn number one, and they get together, and around goes Montez.
Montez goes around, and Mayhew had his hands full, too, there in turn two, completely sideways. Nobody hit the wall.
Until now, on this restart, Montez, very hard contact with the inside wall, trying to make his way back through the field. You can kind of see that car is very, very worse for wear. It looks like even the center section was bent on that car. So on the restart, the chainsaw, Johnny White, remember he spun. Well, he still had enough gusto to try to go after his teammate. And again, that's a super late model versus a tour car. And it was identically prepared with the steak and grape, MMI, Steve Portengay on the wrenches. And Mayhew manages to fight off his teammate in a very entertaining race.
Yep, as we said, there's the results. Well,
And
no.
those are not.
Those
the right
are old results.
Let's see what else you got.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, we know Mayhew won. So that's the late models a couple weeks ago.
There we go, super stocks.
Yeah.
And Gene 5 getting the win. Austin Manzella in the Sign Factory car, his first ever payment start. He ran second.
And a good run for him. And Perrin Kustra, of course, third. So showing that the old-style cars are competitive. And the INEX Thunder Roadsters, Ian Anderson, Paul Peoples Jr., Robbie Nelson.
They had a Vegas car, 2 Eureka cars, another Vegas car, and then a Fontana car. So they were from all over in the top 5. And there's Brandon Weaver getting the trophy, getting the kiss from the trophy girl, extends the points lead, and
he just won an SR2 race.
Yeah, he's been leading the points in the SR2s, and they come back in a couple of weeks.
Right. So Brandon's getting a education in racing at 15 years old, trying a lot of different stuff, and I hear he might be moving to late models next year.
That's the plan.
And here we go. Familiar name again. Tyler Bannister. You could just put that name number one every week. You don't have to change
I think
his
so.
side.
Vargas tries. It's been entertaining.
When Vargas comes up, but Tyler's there and he runs well. And then you had the 911 Racing Series, which we had was Alex Patino.
Yep, Bakersfield Police.
And then next week, you're not racing?
No, we're having a drive-in movie. Drive-ins are back to Bakersfield, and it's going to be an awesome experience. The Talladega Nights will be playing on a 30-foot screen, and we're going to have it elevated by about 10 feet off the ground, and it's only $20 a car load. So we want to encourage you guys to come out. We start opening the gates at 7. There will be giveaways, trivia. Kevin Charette from Channel 17 will be the MC for all that. and then the movie starts at 8:30.
Now, where is the screen exactly set up in the infield?
Towards the turn 3 side of things, like right in front of the infield shops, and then we'll park cars filling all the way back to turns 1 and 2. So you'll enter through the tunnel. It'll be a great experience for all the fans.
And is there going to be a concession stand open there?
Yeah, and we have all sorts of vendors. There'll be kettle corn and the baby cakes, donuts, and ice cream, and all that good stuff. And there's our track owner, Charlie Beard, giving some instructions to the guys as we get that $60,000 projector onto the lift.
So, are you looking forward to this?
I am. You know, Talladega Nights is a great movie. I think if you're a race fan and you can understand how to kind of make fun of yourself and laugh at yourself, you'll have a ball. It's a great movie.
And how can people get tickets to this?
They can go to Cinertain.com. Cinertain is our partner on this. They can also just go to KernRaceway.com. We have a link as well. And it's $20 a carload once again.
Okay. And as always, you're very active. You can follow what's going on at Kern County Raceway Park on Facebook, where Mr. Blakesley's posting all kinds of stuff all the time.
Yeah, myself or our track photographer, Ricky Bassman. We're also on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, so we're all over.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in, and we want to report on the drive-in movies next week, and we want to make sure that you're in a car and your head's above the seat.
There you go.
Okay. Thanks for joining us on the Baco Motorsports Hour. We're going to go to break, and we'll come back with our next segment after these words from our fine sponsors.